I wasn't all that unpleased with the way we played. We turned the ball over a lot at the beginning of the game, and then after that, we really didn't have very many turnovers. I thought our two shortcomings today was our ability to rebound and our inability to rebound, and we just didn't make shots. Normally we feel like we've got a pretty good shooting team, and we felt like we got really quality looks at the basket, and so, you know, you just can't, you want them to go in, but they just didn't go in today, and wish we'd have done a little better job at the foul line, but I just thought it was our overall, our three-point shooting and our rebounding that kind of let us down today, and I thought we played really well defensively. I thought we played really hard defensively. I thought that we made some adjustments that sort of neutralized them on defense. We started getting layups, and we shot a high percentage. I told our team this morning at our pregame meal that we would shoot a high percentage if we took care of the ball, and once we started taking care of the ball, we started getting behind them and getting layups, and we just didn't make enough of our open jump shots. So, but we played hard. We played well defensively, and we fought hard, and that's all I can ask.
For both Marcus and Shamil, as players, I mean, what were the, coming off of a 31-point loss last night, having to turn around so quickly and play this one? I mean, for you guys, what were the past, 16 hours like from the end of that game and from the tip-off to this most recent one?
Honestly, we forgot about it pretty quick. Like, we kind of, obviously we weren't happy about it, but we kind of just knew that we didn't want it to happen again, so we had to move on and mature and just be ready for today.
Yeah, kind of like he said, just kind of next day, next play mentality. We talked about how that result came to be and talked about what we needed to do to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But then right after that, it was on to the next day, focus on to the next game.
Marcus, you had 10 assists tonight, just the 2 turnovers. What do you think really opened up for you, especially in the second half? I think there was one stretch where you had like 3 straight assists. So overall, what do you think went into that?
Well, with their defense being so overextended, I just feel like it was a little bit easier for me to penetrate the defense, and because they're overextended, my teammates were able to make cuts and find open spaces. So I was just doing my best to find them and get easy baskets.
For either guy, it seemed like right away there was a different energy on defense. What spearheaded that, and how do you think it affected the way you played?
Definitely the result of yesterday. Like we said, we talked about what we had to do to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And one of the main focuses that we had and talked about was energy. So we knew that we had to come with energy from the jump, just play hard, try and outplay our opponent. And so we tried to do today. We came up short.
For either of you guys, even though you don't get a win in these 2 games, you play in an NBA arena against some top teams. What do you take away from these couple of games in this tournament?
It was a good experience. We would have liked to win the games, and they were both winnable games for our team. But I think we grew as a team. We learned a lot. We learned that we got to come with energy right away. Being a young team, things like that are gonna happen, even though it's not an excuse. But I think we learned a lot, and we'll definitely improve from here on out.
Well, what do you think the toughest thing was with Oklahoma? The toughest strategy. What was it? What do you think?
Well, they kind of play up in the lanes, denying, trying to really pressure you. But I think once we got settled into that, it wasn't that difficult. And then they're a pretty big and long team, so trying to keep them off the glass, we didn't do a good enough job of that. So.
We've kind of seen it in these first few games here, Marcus, except being a freshman and really not having that experience to kind of fall back on in tougher times. How important are the first few minutes of each game for you in terms of kind of dictating how you feel in the rest of the game, and I guess in terms of dictating your overall play for the rest of the game?
First few minutes of any game, no matter what, is important because it sets the tone for your team, no matter who's on the court, no matter who it is. So we try to come out every day, every game, every practice from the jump, trying to bring energy, trying to play as hard as we can, do the best that we can. So.
Marcus, when they were switching up their presses, whether it was full court or the half court trap, what really goes into adjusting to that, in game, kind of on the fly?
Make sure everybody's alert, communicating. Everybody's doing their best to get open for each other. Really just, I would say, communication, being alert, knowing when to cut, when to be open for your teammate, just different things like that.
All right, guys, thanks for coach. Good job, you guys. You guys can go.
Kevin, when you kind of look at these two games and maybe in a bigger view of the season, what's more important, the process of building a team or the result of a game or of a season?
I think that we play to get results. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that, but I have to be mindful of what my job is, and my job is to help bring these guys along and help them to get better. And we pointed some things out to them about yesterday that we didn't think was sufficient, and they tried to do something about it today. Now, we shouldn't have to learn that lesson like we learned it yesterday, but we competed really hard today. You look down and we shoot 51% and they shoot 38%. And there's, we only have one more turnover than they have. When their whole defense is designed to try to turn you over, that's their whole thing. And so there were some really good things that happened. Marcus got called for a walk on the first possession of the game, and then he got called for turning the ball over, which you could pretty much call that one every possession on somebody if you wanted to. Those are the only two turnovers he has against a team that's all the way out in the passing lane, trying to be disruptive, and he has 10 assists to go with it. So there was some real growth on the part of some of the guys on our team today, and again, we didn't do enough, and we know that our margin is small, but in terms of effort, in terms of energy to get the job done, in terms of trying to do what they need to do to be successful, we got a very good effort from our team today.
I was curious, Kevin, where was your team mentally after last night's loss, and how as coaches did you guys kind of approach that and work to deal with them and sort of assuage any problems?
I think that based on who they are, I didn't worry about a repeat performance. I don't know why that happened. I don't know if I don't know if maybe we used our game energy up in practice the day before, and we only practiced for about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't really know how that would be it, but of course I'm looking for answers on what caused that, because that's just not the kind of thing that should happen. And so but in terms of our approach to this, it was, we pointed it out and pointed out who it is that we have to be in order to have success, in order to have a chance to have success at this level. And they bought into it more today. And not bought into it, they executed it more today. And so we gave ourselves a chance to win. And obviously, they had one guy that we had trouble guarding, and so if he has the same day that he has yesterday, maybe we win, but he didn't.
Down the stretch, I think it was the final minute, there was 2 or 3 straight possessions when Carroll got fouled, went to the line, hit those shots. Is that kind of, with such a young team, something that they can really learn from, you know, where they're in it until down the stretch and it's almost like self-inflicted?
Yeah, we got out of position twice on 2 consecutive possessions, 2 different players, and we got to a kind of a bad closeout, and it hurt us, and we put him on the foul line 2 straight possessions, like you mentioned, and so, yeah, I think that's something that as they gain more experience, especially at crunch time like that, you have to play with even more discipline and even stronger fundamentals, but literally every possession is a learning lesson for us right now. And every timeout, every situation, every defense. I mean, it's all a learning situation right now, and so we'll get better. We'll get better, and obviously we're very disappointed that we weren't able to win the game, but we'll learn from it and get better from it.
You changed things up with the rotation of the guards. You played Millie and Marcus together a lot and didn't play Parker as much. What went into that, and what did you think of that combination? I felt like that was the best situation for this particular game because of their defense. I wanted more ball handling on the court, and Marcus and Millie have been 2 of our best energy guys, and when you come off of a day where you were lacking energy, I'm gonna put the energy guys out there, but also those 2 guys have been solid defensively, and so it was just nobody played well enough yesterday to warrant an automatic berth in the lineup today, and so I took the 2 guys that I thought would handle the ball the best and give us the best chance of playing with the kind of energy that we needed to play with to be successful in this game. Thanks, Coach. Okay.